My name is Ethan Miller. I'm 14 years old, and on the night of September 3rd, on a cold concrete courtyard outside an apartment complex in
Tacoma, Washington, I died. I didn't see it coming. Nobody did. 1 second, music was blasting from someone's Bluetooth speaker, the bass vibrating through the ground, and I was laughing at something my friend Josh had just said. It was dumb. I don't even remember what the joke was. The next second, there was a sound like sharp pops, quick, dry cracks, not loud like in movies. Outside, gunshots don't echo the way you expect. They just snap through the air. Then people started screaming. I felt something slam into my chest, not like a punch, more like getting hit full force with a metal bat. All the air exploded out of my lungs at once. I stumbled backward, tried to grab the metal railing behind me, but my hands didn't work right. Everything felt slippery, weak. I went down hard. The music didn't stop. Some song with a heavy beat kept playing, but it sounded distorted, like it was coming from underwater. The world tilted. I stared up at the night sky. The stars looked smeared, like someone had rubbed them with their thumb. I tried to breathe. My chest wouldn't move. It felt locked, frozen. That's when the darkness showed up. Not like lights going out. It didn't come from above or around me. It crept in from the edges of my vision, closing inward, slow and quiet, like a camera shutter snapping shut. Before that night, I was just a normal freshman. Not popular, not invisible either. Somewhere in the middle. I liked video games, open world ones where you could build stuff and disappear for hours. I spent way too much time on my phone. My dad worked construction. My mom worked nights at a medical clinic. They were always tired, but they always made sure me and my little brother Noah had food on the table. We argued like normal families do. I got mad when they took my phone away. I sighed when they talked about church. I wanted to fit in. I wanted better shoes. I wanted people to notice me. I wanted to feel like I mattered. I never thought my life would end before I even learned how to drive. The silence was the first thing I noticed. The screaming stopped. The sirens stopped. The music stopped. Not normal quiet, heavy quiet. Thick, like the air itself had weight. I stood up. At least, I thought I did. I felt light, like gravity forgot about me. I looked at my hands. They looked normal, but brighter, like there was a soft glow under my skin. Then I looked down. There was a boy lying on the ground. He was wearing my black hoodie, my sneakers, my jeans. Blood was spreading across his chest, dark and glossy against the concrete. Josh was kneeling beside him, crying, shaking him, yelling my name. Why is he shaking me? I'm right here, I tried to shout. Nothing came out. Or maybe sound just didn't work here. The air felt different, thicker, like it swallowed everything. Paramedics rushed in. They cut open my hoodie. I saw the hole in my chest. It was bad, really bad. But I wasn't scared. That's the part that still messes with me. I should have been panicking. I should have been losing my mind. Instead, I felt calm, like floating on my back in a pool, staring at the sky, not needing to move. The scene below me started shrinking. The flashing red and blue lights, the neighbors watching from their balconies. The chaos. It all drifted away. When I turned around, I wasn't in Washington anymore. I was inside something like a tunnel, but not solid. It felt like mist, clouds, fog rushing past me at impossible speed. The air buzzed. You know that feeling right before a thunderstorm when your skin tingles? It was that, but multiplied. I wasn't alone. I could sense movement in the fog, shapes, presences, but I was moving too fast to focus on them. Something was pulling me forward, not down, forward, like gravity with a destination. Then everything stopped. I was standing on something that looked like glass, but felt warm. It shimmered like the ocean at sunset, gold, amber, alive, and that's when I saw him. People always talk about a bright light, and yeah, he was radiant, but that's not what hit me first. It was his weight. Standing in front of him felt like standing next to a mountain, solid, unmovable, more real than anything I'd ever known. My whole life, school, friends, the shooting, felt fake compared to him. He didn't look like the pictures in my grandma's hallway. No perfect robe, no polished beard. He looked like power. Light made him, but the light had texture, like woven gold, like flowing fire, like rushing water. His face was too bright to see clearly, but I felt his eyes. They didn't just look at me, they touched me, and everything bad about me, every lie, every selfish thought, every time I hurt someone, fell off like dirt in the shower. No shame, no yelling, just clean. He didn't speak out loud. His voice filled my chest, deep, strong, like thunder, but safe, safer than anything I've ever heard. He said, You are home, Ethan. My legs gave out. I dropped to my knees, not because I had to, but because love that heavy makes you collapse. And I started crying. I cried, but not because I was afraid. I cried because I was happy. I cried because I was sorry. I cried because for the first time in my 14 years of life, I didn't have to pretend. I didn't have to act tough. I didn't have to be funny. I didn't have to be impressive or cool or okay. I wasn't the kid trying to fit in at school. I wasn't the boy bleeding on concrete in Washington. I wasn't even a victim anymore. I was just Ethan. And that was enough for him. Jesus stepped closer. As he moved, the ground beneath us rippled like liquid gold, spreading outward in slow waves, as if creation itself reacted to his presence. He reached out his hand. It looked like it was made of starlight, solid and real, yet brighter than anything I had ever seen. When his hand touched my shoulder, warmth rushed through me, deep and overwhelming, and suddenly, everything changed. We were no longer standing on the golden sea. We were looking down. It felt like we were floating in space, suspended above the world. Below us was Earth, but not the Earth you see in textbooks or satellite photos. This Earth was dim, covered in a heavy gray fog that clung to the surface like sickness. Then I saw it. A dark, sticky web stretched across continents, wrapped tightly around cities, neighborhoods, and homes. It pulsed slowly, like it was alive. "Look," Jesus said. His voice was still powerful, but now there was sadness in it. Deep, aching sadness. As he spoke, my vision sharpened. I didn't zoom in with my eyes. It just happened. I could see through walls, through roofs, into bedrooms and living rooms all over the world. In every room, there was a child. Some were my age, some were younger, some looked like my little sister Mia. They were all alone. Every single one of them was staring at a screen. Phones, tablets, laptops, TVs. A gray mist poured out of the screens. It wasn't physical smoke. It was spiritual. It crawled out of the glass and wrapped itself around their heads, covering their eyes, sealing their ears, pressing into their minds. I watched a boy, maybe 10 years old, laughing at a video. On the surface, it looked harmless, funny, but in the spiritual world, I saw the truth. With every laugh, small black arrows shot from the screen and lodged into his heart, one after another. I saw a teenage girl sitting on her bed, taking pictures of herself. She looked exhausted, sad. Beside her, in the unseen world, stood a tall shadow, thin, dark, and twisted. It leaned down and whispered into her ear, "You're ugly. Nobody likes you. You should just give up." I heard the words clearly. The girl nodded slowly, like she believed every lie. I turned to Jesus, my chest tight. "What is this?" I asked. "This is the war," he said. "The enemy no longer fights with swords. He fights with silence, with distraction, with isolation." He pointed again. I saw a family sitting around a dinner table. Plates of food were untouched. The parents were scrolling on their phones. The children were staring at iPads. No one was speaking. No one was looking at each other. The gray web hung thick above that table. "The children are being stolen," Jesus said quietly. "Not from their homes, but from themselves." He paused. "They are being taught that they are accidents, that they have no purpose, that they are alone." Then the scene shifted again. I saw a small, messy bedroom, clothes on the floor, posters on the wall. A kid knelt beside his bed. No phone, no screen, just his hands folded tight. "God," the kid whispered, voice shaking, "please help me tomorrow at school." Suddenly, bam! A beam of pure light exploded upward from that room. It sliced through the gray web like a sword. The darkness tore apart as the light shot straight into heaven. Jesus smiled, and when he smiled, everything became brighter. "Do you see?" he asked. "The enemy fears the children, because if they wake up, if they realize who I am, they will be unstoppable." His voice grew firm. "That is why he tries to blind them early." Then Jesus looked straight into my eyes. "Go back, Ethan," he said. "Tell them. Tell the parents to put down the screens and look at their children. Tell the children they are not alone. They are not accidents." He leaned closer. "They are warriors." I shook my head. "No," I said. I knew I shouldn't say no, but fear gripped me. "I can't go back," I whispered. "I was shot. It hurt. It was cold. Down there, everything is confusing. People are cruel. I have to worry about grades and money and fitting in. My voice broke. Here, there's only you. I reached out and grabbed his hand. It felt warm, so warm that I didn't want to let go. Please, I whispered. Let me stay. I don't want to fight the war. I'm just a kid. Jesus didn't get angry. He didn't pull his hand away. Instead, he knelt down so we were eye level. His presence was calm, steady, unshakable. He placed his hand gently on my chest, right where the bullet had torn through me. You are not just a kid, he said softly. You are my son. With a small movement of his hand, the space around us opened. I saw my mom. She was sitting in a hospital waiting room, folded over in a hard plastic chair. Her face was buried in her hands, her shoulders shaking as she cried. She looked smaller somehow, like the weight of fear was crushing her. My dad stood beside her, staring at the wall. He looked empty, hollow, like a ghost, still standing, but already broken. Then I saw Mia. My little sister was sitting on her bed, hugging my pillow to her chest. Her legs barely reached the floor. She looked so small, so alone. They need you, Jesus said quietly. Mia needs to know that death isn't the end. She needs to know that I am real. My heart ached. If you stay, he continued, she may never know, but if you go back, you can show her the light. I stared at Mia, and something inside me broke open. I felt love for her in a way I never had before. Pure, fierce, overwhelming. Will you be with me? I asked. It's hard down there. Jesus stood up and suddenly he looked like a king again. Strong, radiant, unmovable. I am closer than the air in your lungs, he promised. I will never leave you. Then he placed his hand over my eyes. Breathe, Leo. Pain. That was the first thing. Fire exploded in my chest. It felt like my body was being dragged through glass. Then came noise. So much noise. Beeping machines, shouting voices. We've got a pulse! We've got a rhythm! I gasped, sucking air like it was coming through a straw. My eyes flew open. The lights were brutal, harsh white, buzzing, stabbing into my eyes. I was surrounded by people in scrubs. Someone was pressing hard on my chest. Tubes were everywhere. I tried to scream, but there was a tube down my throat. I panicked. I wanted the warmth back. I wanted the golden light. I wanted the silence. A nurse saw my eyes open. Her face went pale. She dropped the chart in her hands. He's awake, she shouted. He's awake! I tried to lift my hand to pull the tube out, but they held me down. It's okay, Leo, a doctor said, breathless and exhausted. You're in the hospital. You're okay. Just breathe. Later, I learned the truth. I had been dead for almost 15 minutes. The bullet had missed my heart by less than an inch, but the shock had stopped it. They shocked me 4 times. They were seconds away from calling the time of death. When my mom came in and saw my eyes open, she collapsed. She didn't scream. She didn't speak. She just fell to the floor crying. My dad, who never cries, had tears running down his face. I couldn't talk because of the tube, but I squeezed my mom's hand. I wanted to tell her everything. It's okay, I wanted to say. I saw him. I saw the king. Recovery was hard. Surgeries. Pain. A long scar across my chest. Even now, it still aches when it rains. But I am not the same Leo who died that night. I don't care about fitting in anymore. I don't care about being cool. I don't care about sneakers or likes or attention. I look at my friends at school, heads down, scrolling like zombies, and I remember the gray web. I remember the arrows. So this is the message Jesus told me to bring back. If you are a parent, fight for your children. The battle isn't against people. It's against the darkness trying to steal their attention and their identity. Pray over them. Go into their rooms at night and pray while they sleep. It breaks the webs. I saw it happen. And if you are a kid or a teenager like me, I know it feels lonely. I know the internet tells you that you have to be perfect or that the world is hopeless. That is a lie. There is a king who loves you. He isn't a dusty statue in a church. He is real power, he is real love, and he is fighting for you right now. My name is Leo Garcia. I died, and I came back to tell you one thing. Wake up. The light is real, and you are loved more than you can ever imagine.